Recording started. Okay. All right. Hello guys. Thanks so much for talking to me this evening. First off, could you introduce yourselves and do a little blurb about what you do in the band?
Um, my name is Avery. I am I am apparently in a virtual background right now.
You're in
Oh
Fortnite.
my God, it's horrible. It's horrible. I let it know, and then it. All right. I'm Avery. I kind of made Argo Nuff. I'm the headmaster. I am the league supreme gentleman of Argo Nuff, and I don't know. I just make beautiful ambient music. Yeah, that's about it.
My name is Luke. I'm like the instrument player of Argo Nuff. I'm the hired gun that Avery tells me to make things and I do that.
He's my
Uh,
Igor.
Hmm.
yeah.
So I guess we can start since it's the both of you. Like, how did you guys meet, or like how long have you known each other?
We met on a internet forum on like a couple of years ago about making like what is it? What was it, Luke? It was like not making beats, but like making like making something. But we had sauce. Like we had like a kind of instant lock, and I had just wanted him to spruce up the vibe a little bit. I feel like I did not initially have the kind of the swag. I didn't have the essence. I feel like it was all there and like getting ready to go, but I feel like Luke was able to put it into hyperdrive and and get it done, get her done basically.
Cool.
It's
Uh,
been a couple years at this point for sure.
Yeah.
so Luke, remind me, how long have you been like a part of Argo Nuff?
Um I was kicking around like just kind of working on the earlier records. Like I definitely know Big Part, but like DQ is like really when I was helping with the overall sound of the thing.
Hmm.
And then
His
just
his essence was there
yeah.
for a while, but his like contributions hadn't been like brought to the forefront until later, basically.
Gotcha. Okay. So I mean, I guess like how long have you guys been making music? Like I was doing a bit of digging on your guys' like social media accounts, and it seems like you guys have been like making music or experimenting around with music for a little while. Like talk to me a little bit about how long you guys have been doing music. Like when did you like start playing instruments or anything like that?
For me, it started I think it's sophomore year of high school. So I was just like a little youngin. I was like going through it. I was in the trenches basically, in like that kind of pre-teen angst, that kind of vibe. And I was just like, yo, me and my boy Ben, who isn't here, but he was the first to be like, let's make a band, bro. And we had done it. That's where the name came from. We were doing like predictive text, when you like hit the middle button in your predictive text and it just goes and goes
Yeah.
until it's nothing.
Hmm.
We just kept doing that and like came up with a bunch of stuff, and I had sent it to one of my boys, and he picked Argonaut out of all of them. But it was like kind of little kid garage bandy for a little bit, and then like COVID hit, and we kind of had all of that time to just dwell and cook and conquer basically. So I just said, whatever, let's do it. And I just ended up making music, and here we are.
Cool. Luke, what about you?
I've been doing tracks. I'm from Missouri.
Hmm.
So I've been like Really, I started in like classical guitar, and learning on like pedal steel and
Whoa.
banjo, yeah, instruments like that.
Mhm.
And that was when I was younger, and I was just kind of playing on records. And then when I got to like high school age, I was just like tooling around with like different noise rock bands or like playing as like a fill-in player in different bands. And then really, I when co yeah, it was another situation where when COVID hit, I was like, okay, I want to start actually putting tracks out now. And so I did that for a bit, and then I decided that I want to make music with other people.
Cool. Well, Avery, you kind of killed two birds with one stone there because my next question was going to be like, where does the name come from? So like you were doing like the generative text. So, the name Argo Nuff, if I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Argo Nuff was just sort of like a name you stumbled upon. Like, is there like no particular meaning behind it?
Straight up, straight up. That is literally like that's as easy as it gets, I think.
Yeah.
I think there's like there's some coolness to it. The fact that
Mhm.
it is like kind of that it came to us
Yeah.
through AI, through the hive mind, the matrix, you know.
Yeah. AI
But
saved me once
yeah,
again.
I think it fits. It rolls off the tongue good.
Yeah, I mean,
People are
it's a
enough heads. People are down with it.
enough heads. Yeah, I remember just like stumbling upon your music however long ago, and I remember like reading the name, and I just like I really didn't know what the deal was. I was like, this is killer. I'm gonna check this out. So okay, so moving towards the most recent project of yours, DQ. Um, I mean, just visually speaking, is there like do either of you get is there like a particular meaning behind like the album cover? Because that was the first thing that stuck out to me. I just thought it was like very like your album art in general is just like very interesting to me. Like, is there like a particular like meaning to that album cover?
I think it was just like kind of evoking vibe more than most things. I feel like that kind of vague, kind of silhouette
Hmm.
mathy kind of uh nothing is kind of cool to highlight because I feel like it's something you could just like see on a textbook and fucking just like not even give a second glance to. But I feel like emphasizing it and like that kind of the essence of things, I feel
Yeah.
like that was a theme going on in the record for
It's
me.
a physics thing, right? Isn't it like a
I
physics
think it's like
concept?
a electromagnetic field, so it's literally vibes. It's literally vibes.
Literally vibes. Yeah, because I saw that and I was like, it seems so precise, but also like not. Like it seemed like kind of alien. But I also don't know anything about electromagnetics, so I guess in that way it is alien. Um,
I don't know either. I'm just here.
so
I'm just
yeah,
using it.
just here. So going through the album and I guess like just all your projects, you guys have your fair share of sampling. And I thought, I mean, this one I enjoy the most in regards to samples. So I'm just gonna run through a short list of uh samples that appeared on the album and kind of like quick fire answer. You guys could like give quick fire answers as to what they were. So this is what I picked up. Quiznos, Drake, Fulcrum, and Kevin Gates. Are there any particular meanings to any of those?
Uh, do you want to cover this one, Luke? I feel like you could get some. You could get the Drake and Kevin Gates ones down.
The the Drake and Kevin Gates samples were so dumb luck, really.
Yeah,
The Kevin Gates one in particular is just so evocative for everything that Kevin Gates says could have really worked in the context of that record.
right.
Uh, because he always, I think he's just really smart secretly. I
Yeah,
don't,
he speaks in riddles. He's an enigma. He's like
Yeah.
he's the closest thing we have to a philosopher today. He's yeah, exactly. He has that sauce, you know. He understands it.
that was, yeah, that's an Instagram live. I don't even know. He's like on someone else's stream. I don't remember the context.
I think it was
Um,
like a Breakfast Club interview or something.
I really,
He was on like Sway or something like that.
I don't even, because the,
And they were just like, "So you wanted to kill yourself, huh?"
I think that one's alive. I think the Breakfast Club one was the one where he's talking about how is like philosophically correct.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. We should have sampled that one,
I
honestly.
know I was listening to that last week and I was actually thinking about like putting that in a track, but I guess it's
No,
like
because whenever you hear Kevin Gates, if you're in with it, if you know us, whenever you hear a Kevin Gates song or hear a Kevin Gates interview, you immediately think of the essence, you know?
there's going to be more Kevin Gates in the future, I hope.
I'm looking
Hopefully,
forward to it.
hopefully we can get a collab down.
Collab
We can
with
get a
Kevin Gates.
verse.
Oh my goodness.
The Quizno sample is my favorite one on the record.
I think I don't know why I did Quiznos. I don't know why I wanted to name it Quiznos. I just yeah, that's a kind of dumb one too. That's dumb luck.
Hmm.
I think those weird commercials kind of tanked Quiznos, but I feel like if they were released today, Quiznos, everybody would be down with Quiznos. And I don't like Subway, so I decided to take a stand. Take a firm position, and that like Argo Nuff is the bleeding heart of Quiznos. Because nobody thinks about Quiznos anymore, and I feel like that's really sad. And we need to shine a light on Quiznos because they have hot subs, they have cold subs, they have like I think they had soup at some point. But yeah, they're great. I love Quiznos.
Have you ever been to
Sweet.
one?
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never
all the
been to a
time.
Quiznos. I
I've
feel bad.
never.
I think it's because you're not down like that.
Okay.
I think I've seen maybe two Quiznos in my life, like two
Yeah, it's
separate
like a
Quiznos.
cryptid. It's cool as fuck to ever see a Quiznos.
I don't think we have them out here at all.
Yeah, yeah. You may very well not.
I mean, that's a problem that you got to
Locals
fix.
only. Quiznos.
Oh, I guess another one that just popped into my head from that album. I assume there's no meaning behind it, but it's off the song Horse Doesn't Realize It's Just Born. The classic Xbox 360 um what was it? It was like you're just jealous that I'll be able to do something with my hands and my guitar that you'll never be able to do in your life. And then he played like Metallica. Was that just also dumb luck, or is there like a deep philosophical meaning behind that as well?
I feel like there's always a deep philosophical meaning with it. I feel like with that one in particular, I feel like we just needed to kind of stand our ground. We were like, this is what we can do. This is what we're into. It's like a kind of a flag in the sand kind of action
Yeah.
of us fully stating who we are, and we're just kind of goaded on the guitars and stuff.
That's like
So we
such a
sent it.
prominent sample, I feel like too. That was a power move taking that one. When I heard that, because I think that track wasn't supposed to be on the record. And then I heard that sample and I was completely convinced.
Yeah, for a little bit I thought it was too long. I thought it like almost wasn't sort of the vibe for the record, but then the more I was just listening to it, I was like, I this is just needs to be there. It needs to be the centerpiece.
Mhm. Yeah, I remember like listening to that because that I'd say either that or Blinker City USA. Those are my two favorite songs. Um I remember listening to Horse Doesn't Realize It Was Just Born, and I heard that sample and then like the guitar comes in and I felt my vision like zoom out or something. It was
You got
it's
hit.
it's a it's a good
You got
it's a
hit.
good it's a good it's a good lead into the next section of the song.
It's like the feeling that you get when you get like a kill shot in Call of Duty.
Oh, the perfect.
You
Oh
get the
my God.
final kill cam, and
It's the
and
best.
everything just
It's
kind
just
of
like, yeah,
your perspective completely shifts.
yeah. So, I is there I was doing some, like I said, obviously, I was interviewing you guys, had to do some research, and I stumbled upon the inspirations for DQ, like a playlist. Um, and so there were a couple songs that I noticed that, well, I mean, I just sort of picked out the songs that, I enjoy, because there were a lot of songs that I actually enjoyed. So I noticed Outside by Injury Reserve, one of the songs from Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, um, and a Tim Hecker song, and The Moon is Sharp by Grouper. So I guess we could just you don't have to dissect all of them. I mean, I'm most interested in the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind song. Is there like a particular moment in the album that was like a direct product of that, or is it just like or is it just like the whole vibe as you've been saying?
I think John Bryan has always been the GOAT, you know? He's always been a huge, huge inspiration. And I feel like that one specifically was just kind of like what he's able to do with instrumental music. And I feel like since we were like fully kind of fermenting ourselves into like the pivot of instrumental, I feel like it was important to like to do our research to get it done. And those things are always fun to make, and we make them for all of them, so you can check all of them out.
That
Cool.
track is cool too, because I think those good. It's like I was reading about. I think all those guitars are like on a Mellotron or whatever, and like so much of DQ is super synthesized, even a lot of the elements that like you think are live. So that was like I feel like that relates very strongly.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah, I mean, I guess sort of, diving in more to the album. Uh, what was so around how long was the recording or planning of this album taking place? Like, do you have like a vague idea, or is this like a an unknown amount of time?
That is a good question. I always like to say that we spent our entire lives working on this album. We've been gathering the essence for for years. But honestly, if we're I think it was like 8 months altogether. It
Hmm,
was less than a year. Less than a year.
gotcha. Um, so if you could give me a little bit of the sauce, could you tell me a little bit about like the production of the album? Like what was like the majority instrument or tool that you guys used throughout the project, or is it multiple?
Ooh, DQ was straight up our synth album, basically.
Mhm.
It was yeah, I had basically just I'd gotten a Korg mini log for I think my birthday, and the rest is history basically. I feel like Luke can speak a lot more to the production because he took a lot more of like a leading position, especially on that album. So yeah,
That record is like,
take it away, bro.
yeah, it's definitely synth heavy, and a lot of it is kind of the approach of just kind of reconstructing things from the ground up. I think a lot of things started as just recordings, and it kind of entered a weird assembly process, especially in like the mixing and mastering phase. A lot of it came together as like isolating things out in just EQ filters and like AI filters to separate different parts of the songs. And that would give things really weird, like timbre and elements, and then like putting them back together. And yeah, original versions of the songs on there sound really, really different. It was built up in a really interesting way where I think that like using a DAW itself was like almost the primary instrument, along with the synth. It's so synth heavy, but
Mhm.
yeah, I would say almost the DAW if that's like an acceptable answer.
And the DAW, I think a lot of what adds to it is the fact that I still use GarageBand for most of the Argo Nuff stuff, and I feel like it carries a kind of different weight to it. All of the mixes that you send out,
Mhm.
and then what Luke's job is to like kind of take that and kind of morph it into this bigger monster that like becomes very beautiful and kind of manipulated and crushed.
Yeah, I feel like that fact is probably gonna be on an Argo Nuff iceberg someday. I recently you guys posted on YouTube an Argo Nuff live performance. I watched that, and first off, that's wonderful. I loved it. Very cool. I thought the way that it was shot was quite unique. Uh, kind of felt like I was like watching it from the window of another house or something. Uh, but in regards to live performances, I'm sure you've been asked this before. Are there ever gonna be, or are there ever any plans of you guys performing live or having like a tour or anything like that?
I don't want to say too much. I don't want to give him too much, but I want to say that something very, very essential and very important is in the works at the moment, and it will be live in a context, and people will get down heavy to it.
Can't let the haters know too much.
Exactly.
No.
So, I mean, I guess just in the this is just more so a general question. This is one of the things that stuck out to me the most about like the vibe of your band is the phrase touch your phone or just touch your phone. Uh where does that come from and like what does it mean? Like is there like yeah, I don't know. What's the meaning behind that?
I don't know if you heard about this before, but kind of we're kind of all on our phones now. I just got a notification on my phone, which is so prescient and to the moment. But yeah, I wrote a poem, and if you go on the Argo Nuff website, there's a poem there, and that was one of the lines of the poem that I feel like just kind of encapsulated a lot of Argo Nuff vibe and Argo Nuff essence. And I feel like there's a lot of things that you can access through your phone and stuff, especially emotionally and especially spiritually, that a lot of people don't get. I feel like there's a lot of really evocative experiences that you can get through like the internet or through that kind of stuff that people don't see as important or people don't see as like affecting them in the way that it does.
Mm.
I feel like yeah, Luke can talk about this a lot more because
I
he
think
knows a
yeah,
lot.
it's like ultimately I don't know, it's just the fact that we're a digital band. Not in like a lame gorillas way, but in like that we are actually all communicating through like primarily Instagram, like not even through laptop based means like email or whatever. It is pretty strictly like phone based communication. So I think it's has to be kind of the cornerstone of the thing if like the art we are making comes through that medium. I
Half
don't
of
know.
the way we find our samples is through like Instagram reels that we send
Oh
to each other.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Literally, doom scrolling is an important Argo Nuff uh experience of making the album. It's an important part.
Yeah. Um, so it's confirmed that Argo Nuff is pro internet, which is good. That's
Yeah,
um,
what else is there? What else
yeah,
is there?
true. I mean, I feel like you'd be living out in the woods if you weren't. Uh, so when you were saying that like you could like sort of like access like spiritual and emotional things through the internet, I mean that was a pretty good way of describing it because while you were talking, I sort of realized that like um DQ sort of scratched like a spiritual itch that I had, if that makes any sense. I'm not particularly spiritual, but I feel
Bro, we're Argo Nuff. That makes the most sense out of anything you've said.
sweet, sweet. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see, but the time's winding down. So I got two more quick little questions. Um, this one's just sort of like a fun one, I guess. If you could just like quick fire name off like three people or bands that you would have that you would like to collaborate with someday.
There was earlier today I had mentioned Saw Baby.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Saw Baby.
Um,
Awesome.
who's the guy that did beatbox? Spot him, got him.
Spot 'em, got 'em.
Spot him,
That
got
track's
him.
fire.
We could do
Uh
it. We could do a beatbox with Spot him, got him.
yeah, there's like 10
Uh,
of those.
and then you could take the last one, Luke.
Oh man, you put me on the spot.
Well, if you guys want to do three each, you can do that.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I can do that's actually probably worse for
I got
me.
I got to think of my last one. Then you
I
you rattle
know.
off a couple, and then
I'll
I'll
do
name my
three.
last.
Oh man, I am struggling. Gabe Newell. I want to do something with that guy.
Ooh,
I would love.
Honestly, getting on some video game stuff
Yeah,
would be
honestly, that's the goal.
crazy.
That's the goal
yeah.
right now.
I could
That guy
definitely. Yeah,
that guy hasn't done anything inspired in 15 years. We need to inspire him again.
We need to
It's
get him on.
yeah.
uh
I'm on the phone. Um,
keep
well, I mean, if you guys need a little bit of help, I was just like looking through more of like the inspiration um playlists, and I picked out just like a couple names that I like.
Yeah,
Uh
who do you think?
uh well, I mean, first off, top of the list, one of my favorite groups of all time, Salem. I'm a massive Salem head, so that would be a dream. And then I also William Basinski, who I actually interviewed a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's
Super
awesome.
cool. And then
Oh, Postal Service. That's the obvious
oh,
fucking
Postal Service.
Oh,
Oh, that
that
would
is
be
that I
killer.
was trying to think of their name. That's the answer. And I don't know. I'll say like Creed because I feel like we listen to a
Breed
crazy amount of new metal.
and
So I'll say
yeah,
Argo
yeah, yeah. We're on that post grunge shit. We're
and
gonna
Argo
be
Nuff
making a
butt
post
rock
grunge
album
album next. Sorry to ruin the surprise, but
and
we're
Argo
that's what
Nuff
we're
butt
getting on
rock
next.
album in the works.
Yeah, butt rock, bro country, hip hop.
Bro country. Well, I mean, I feel like we kind of got some good discussion out there. Unless you came up with a third, Avery. If not, I can just like move on to the last
Oh, Bubba
question.
Sparks. Yeah,
Bubba
Bubba
Sparks.
Sparks. Yeah, Miss New Booty.
Sweet.
Miss New
Yeah,
Booty remix.
that would be. I mean, those would. Let's. You guys should make that happen. That would be amazing.
This is
Um.
a this is an open call to Bubba Sparks.
And then I guess the final question is well, I mean, you guys announced like either today or yesterday that you guys are doing you guys are participating in the charity compilation, which first off, super cool. If you could tell me a little blurb about that, and then my next question would be what are the what are the future plans without, without giving us too much sauce.
Well, the charity comp is really cool because it's like for a labor union for workers, for musicians who do like studio sessions and stuff like that, and like orchestral stuff and stuff like that. And I feel like the big Writers Guild strike and the big Actors Guild strikes were like really propelling something a little bit, you know. And I feel like the hype has died down a little bit. It kind of fell off a little bit, so to say. But I mean, anything we can do to put the word in and get something going, it's awesome. I feel like
we have crazy plans for the future that we cannot.
so crazy.
There's
Yeah,
going to
Think
be
of it
a
as like
lot of
Argo Nuff 2.0 crazy,
yeah.
like whole
yeah.
nother level.
There's going to be a
Bottom.
lot. Hopefully.
Yeah.
There's a lot more sauce to come.
Well, that's sweet. Well, thanks so much for talking to me, guys. This was killer. I really enjoyed this. You guys are
Yeah, I had a lot of
certain,
fun. Had a lot of fun.
yeah, you guys are certainly, something that should be studied in a lab. Uh, do you guys have any questions for me? Anything else you want to say or anything you want to plug?
That's for my brother.
Welcome. I'm
Not
gonna
quite a
take a good
blinker,
ender.
but
All right. Well, I guess we could just call it here. Thanks so much, guys. So, we'll be in touch. All right.
bye.